All right, it is the final Wirecast Wednesday, Winter Sports Wednesday. There's a little bit of Sara over there as we get ready for the holiday break. Going to kind of keep this one short and sweet. Not a lot of new information. Was going to kind of leave this more open for group discussion, but Andy from Axtell is our group right now, so that's okay. We will have this up available, and if anybody that wants to chime in, especially over to the holiday break, questions, comments, thoughts about how to do stuff, by all means, let us know, and we will. We have thoughts, we have ideas, and we'll try to share them with you. One of the things that we can share that I want to right now is I want to share my screen so that you guys can see our broadcasting glossary, which is what you can see right now. And we created this a couple years ago, and it is we can make it available. We've just realized that we don't actually have it posted on the website right now, so we need to find a way to do that. But in the meantime, let us know, put it in Slack, send Sara email, and we'll get you this PDF. But really some terms broadcasting-wise on how I kind of describe things and describe some of the action. I don't always use every one of these things, but it sure helps to have kind of a frame of reference. So if you've got a student that maybe is thinking about announcing some basketball games coming up in the second half of the year, we've got some basketball terms on what to do for a close shot, a made shot. If you don't use you betcha and got it, like Matt Coatney and Kent Pavelka, then, well, we're not in the right state, right? So Nebraska basketball is as good as it's been in a long time. So listen and apply what you hear to your own broadcast. That's probably the biggest tip I can get. But we've got some basketball, and I know football and volleyball are over. So if you have this could be a nice reference for some practice maybe that you do in the spring that would kind of get you ready for next year. This is also a nice thing to have right away at the beginning of the year if you've got some new students that are trying it out. That want to take their hand at play-by-play. This could be some ways and some thoughtful hints on some phrases and words to use. And if need be, I can add to this as well. So if we need some more sports in here, let me know. I'd be happy to do that. Really, what else were we going to talk about today, Sara?
Well, if you had any questions about
you got me closer.
Okay, all right. Well, Andy, since you're the only one on here, if you had any questions or comments or concerns, like this would be a time for you to chat with Eric about it and me. Graphic. Team picture, individual picture.
Team picture, individual picture. I honestly have not really prepared anything about that, but I can, if I can.
Oh, and there's Andy.
I was chatting out there. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. If you have any questions or thoughts that you want to share, by all means, we're leaving this. We were kind of hoping there would be a few more people. We could kind of leave this pretty open-ended.
Yeah, I get you. I guess last night we had our holiday tournament, our second day of the holiday tournament, and I noticed that the video manager still showed that it wasn't auto archiving. And I think that's in the mix with you guys are trying to figure that out?
Yeah. That is something that is literally working as we speak. We've got Christian and DeCast, which is the company that we use that hosts the player. There seems to be some sort of disconnect with the auto archive. So working through that and actually uploading in general has been kind of interesting all of a sudden too. So that's not just you guys. That's kind of a little bit of everybody. So hopefully that can be resolved before Christmas break or at least over the break. So everybody's auto archiving and just general upload can be much better. Do you have files in your dashboard right now? No.
I'll check.
Or stuff that you have previously uploaded?
I haven't done any uploading.
Okay.
But that's what I was hoping the auto archive would do.
Gotcha.
In place. Because it's just I need to teach the kids how to do it, and I haven't.
Gotcha.
And then I've had a couple schools upgrade in Mojave.
Yeah. So this is maybe partly for Andy and partly for anybody that watches this recording. The latest operating system for Mac is out called Mojave, and a couple of schools have updated to that. And Mojave has a couple of Wirecast issues if you're not on Wirecast 10.1.1 or Wirecast 11. And Wirecast in the last 16 months has come out with like 3 updates. So a lot of our new schools were on 9, which is where we got everybody on. And then 10 came out like in the 1st of August. And then when Mojave first came out, Wirecast did an update as a patch so that Mojave wouldn't keep crashing Wirecast. And then they came out with a full release of Wirecast 11, which actually has another feature to it. So Wirecast has updated a lot in the last 12 months. So if you, over the holiday break, if you are going to Mojave, definitely check to make sure what version of Wirecast you are on. The good news is with Wirecast 8, 9, 10, and 11, that same license, if you have one of those versions, that same license will get you all the way to 11 without having to pay for an upgrade. So if you're on 8 or 8.2, not a big deal really to get you on 11, and might not be a bad thing to get you on 11, especially if you're on at least High Sierra on your MacBook. That's probably where we'll end up getting most everybody probably here in the second half of the school year. So
what does the pricing look like for that?
What's that?
What does the pricing look like for the updates or the upgrades?
Well, to go, if you've already got a license on 8, to go to 11 is nothing. That same license works on all of them. Where you have to pay to go from 7 or earlier up to 11, I think it's like $275 is what we can do it for. So it's that, and that price is a little bit more than what previous updates were. But the previous updates for Wirecast weren't. I don't think they were as involved as what the most recent updates have been. So yeah. What's that?
Now is a good time.
Now is a good time. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you guys on 7, Andy?
I'm pretty sure without going in there and checking it out.
Okay. I wonder if we've got a note. Something else that that Taylor and I had talked about, and I'm not sure if we've actually done anything with Sara, so I might be surprising Sara with this, trying to make sure that as we've gotten bigger, we're over 100 schools, to be able to try to stay on top of what everybody's Wirecast version and operating system is sending out a quick Google form, and we might do that here over the holiday break, so that when everybody comes back in January, we'll have a kind of a double checked on what everybody's license is. That's how we can upgrade you for a lower cost than if you guys just go and buy an upgrade. And also then what version of Wirecast you're currently running and what your operating system is. So whether it's High Sierra or it's Mojave or it's Sierra or it's a PC and it's Windows 10, whatever that is, just so that, sometimes schools kind of update stuff and we don't know about it till something breaks. And so that way we can kind of stay on top of the support a little bit better. So that hopefully that little Google form will come out here over the holiday break.
Great.
But
I do want to point out, last week or maybe the week before, you talked about the picture-in-picture with different cameras and and I think it's been a major benefit for me with my kids. I have 6th graders running the stream and trying to troubleshoot from afar with the scoreboard app. Like, we just point one at the scoreboard and they bump it, then they fix it, and it's been very beneficial. So
awesome. What kind of camera are you pointing at the scoreboard then?
Logitech, maybe.
It's just like a web camera then, right?
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. I know I had done a session with Mullen with Mike out there, and we ended up using a rendezvous session, which is a built-in feature to Wirecast 8 and newer, which is how you can set up an iOS camera to be a secondary. So there's Andy's. That's a cool camera.
We used to have a few of these distance learning setups, and I think we have 6 or so in the building in boxes. Nobody uses them because everybody has a webcam on their laptop. But for our wrestling meet, I just set up 2 in the gym and put them at either side of the gymnasium. And I could label it mat 1, mat 2. That way I don't have to sit there all day and do anything.
Right. Awesome.
Nice.
Good use of what you got. It's amazing too. If you have other HDMI cameras, that's a big piece of having a secondary camera. For now, all you got to do is buy an HDMI and a mini recorder and a Thunderbolt cable, and you can have 2 of the HDMI cameras on a setup too. That can, it's amazing how many extra cameras can be lying around a school sometimes as well.
Yeah, we had like 3 that came out of the woodwork when I took this on, and
yeah,
I had already bought the nice new camera, so it's fun. It's allowed us to do some playing and tinkering. So
very cool, very cool. I see that James has popped on here. James, we're really kind of very open-ended with this and free-flowing conversation. So Andy was talking a little bit about having his secondary camera set up with the USB camera to show the scoreboard. That is really cut down on some issues with that some of the kids were having, and then having the secondary camera for a wrestling invite. So if there were any thoughts that you had, James, please don't hesitate to share that. One thing before, if James, if you don't have anything right away here, I want to share my screen again and show you guys. Marcus Shear put in Slack. He was wondering if anybody had created a job description sheet for his kids, and this is in the Slack channel, in the general Slack channel. But Marcus, they do have a multicam switcher, so they usually have basically a 5-person setup. So they've got computer, camera 1, camera 2, switcher, and then at least 1 or 2 commentators as well. So they're definitely an involved broadcast, a lot going on. And so Marcus actually took the time to break down each of the people and what their responsibilities to the stream would be in pre-planning, and then the pre-game, what actually is happening during a live game, post-game teardown, and then other random notes and ideas. So, wow, what a resource that could be. And Marcus is what JCC has. They don't really have a class or a club, really. It's really just kind of Marcus organizing the kids kind of as they go. So there's a lot of training all the time that Marcus is doing for different kids that might not normally run a camera. Well, you can hand this sheet to a kid and go, here's exactly what is about to be expected of you. Usually kids respond pretty well to that, right? What's the expectation? Okay, can I meet that? So really cool the way Marcus laid this out. And like I said, pre-planning. Some of you that might have a class might be able to do more with the pre-planning stuff. Some of you might have to kind of jump straight to pre-game. And your list of duties might look different than what Marcus's is. But definitely something to take a look at. So that was in the StrivU Slack channel. And we can also email that to anybody, or if you can get a hold of Marcus too.
Yeah, we can add it to our Strive reference sheet. So we have a reference sheet. So I can link this on Facebook and Slack and everything, but we have a document put together with the broadcasting glossary. It has a few teacher emails or people we've said, hey, if someone needs some ideas or someone to look up to, can they reach out to you? So we have their contact information and which school they're at. And we have a few PDFs that Austin created about setting up lights, social media pixel sizes and things like that. And there's a few other things. It's a great sheet. We send it to new Strive teachers, but everybody can use it, especially students. So that would be a great thing to add in there. Because actually we had a teacher reach out and ask, like, how would we describe this? Or what would the computer person, like, what would they be doing? So it's cool to see that really come along and farther than what we had this fall at our conference. So that's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I love all of Marcus is really detail oriented. I'm surprised he's not on here. He's always on here for these. So he'll be watching this and I'm sure he'll Oh, he's following signing day, right? Did we get Ty Robinson yet? I haven't checked either. So,
and then I have a few things once you're done.
I'm done. Go
You're
ahead.
done? Okay.
Please. Yes.
All right. A few things. The application for StrivU Academy semester 2 is now open. The weekly email for today is going to be coming after this. So you got the email about the Zoom session, but lots of information will be coming this afternoon. Along with that, with the StrivU Academy stuff that you can send to your kids. A little bit about that. It's an opportunity for students who are a little bit experienced and very interested and passionate about either audio, video, writing stories, or design. And we want to give these kids a real life experience by bringing them to some of our state events and letting them be courtside with Ben, learning how to write the stories like Tony and Eric, or starting a podcast. So we had the first semester went really well, and we had students create a podcast. We had students do highlight videos, design. We had some girls learn Canva a little bit better and create graphics. So kind of revamped a little bit. I want to get kids out there and at games, and giving them resources, connecting them with people like John Schrader and other expert people, Taylor, Eric over here. And so Ben, yes. And so that information is coming to you like directly with the sign up link after this. Second, along with StrivU Academy, our intern Alyssa, who does a lot of our Strive sites, is going to be starting a podcast with me, us, and our students, I guess. It's kind of everybody is joining in on it. But we had a blog series that would highlight young professionals in Lincoln and what they're doing. So we would sit down, have coffee with them, and we realized that the conversation that we had recorded over coffee was better than what we put in written words sometimes. So we'd like to transfer that into a podcast form and do the same thing, and kind of highlight people who are creators or have a story worth sharing and how they got to where they are. And then incorporating our StrivU Academy students and having them maybe write copy for us and eventually maybe just take over because they're going to be really great. And we want to provide that for them. So that's coming in 2019. Be on the outlook for that. I think that's all that I have. And of course our summit, like what we talked about last week, January 28th and Monday, on Monday. Did I say in Monday? Wow.
In Monday.com, but it's on Monday.
Well,
Today's Wednesday.
Yep, today's Wednesday. And so, yeah, you still sign up for that. It's on Twitter. It'll be in the email. I'll post it again. But we'd love to have you. We will be live streaming it, but we'd love to have you there in person too. So either works. But John Schrader, professor, will be speaking along with Jeff and Alec, two Strive alum who are incredible and have had many opportunities in high school with Strive and are doing even greater things now that they're in Lincoln and college. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So
yeah, very excited. I have one technical thing, and this is the brand new, it's a brand new microphone that we literally just got as Taylor slacks, and it's really loud. The cool thing about this microphone, it's an Audio-Technica ATR 2100 USB, and we can, I'm sure, share a link.
That's what people are hearing.
So this is what you're hearing me through. So whether we're live, Andy, how does this sound? A little better than just the microphone on the laptop?
I guess I wouldn't know that any difference right now unless you
I was gonna say switch it.
demoed it. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, if I unplug it, I should be back on the laptop.
It just sounds a little more empty when
Okay.
you got it plugged in.
Well, let's see if we plug it back in, if it will come right back. So now it should be back on the USB microphone.
Nice, yeah.
So, nice thing about the USB microphone, you don't need a soundboard interface to plug it into a laptop. So if you got kids that are interested in a podcast, one microphone sitting at a desk just like this can pick up a little bit better. This one is actually multi-use. So this actually does have an XLR. Let me put that up there. So that's an XLR plug, and it comes with an XLR cable. So if you have multiple kids and multiple microphones, you actually can plug that into a soundboard, and now you have the one soundboard input coming into the laptop. Could be a really a nice way, a little mobile podcasting studio with this. And we'll throw a link to this in Slack and Facebook and everywhere else as well. So this literally I just pulled out of the box 5 minutes before we started this. So haven't even really played around with it but that's the beauty of these types of setups. It comes with a mic stand. You guys can see that. So it came with the mount and with the stand part itself. Came with the USB cable, and it did come with the XLR cable and some instructions. For a Mac, it's really super easy. It's like plug it in and there it goes. And that's really all there is to that.
Probably just a reminder about events.
Always a reminder about putting your events in the dashboard so that we can see it on the schedule page. That's always a good thing. It's definitely something that we will get phone calls and emails about, is so-and-so streaming a concert or a ball game tonight. And we always go, well, let's check the schedule page. Okay. Not on the schedule page. We fire off an email, we get something back, and it just kind of cuts down a little bit on that if you put out exactly what you're going to be streaming. So always a helpful reminder to put your events. Again, you're not required to, and you can certainly stream without doing it, but it does look really good on the schedule page if you do it right. Taylor, do you have any thoughts for us?
Our mobile app is still coming, hopefully after a break.
Hopefully in January, our mobile app is getting a complete redo, and hopefully that will be done in January. The big thing that the app originally did and then didn't do, and so is trying to do again, is the push notifications, where a person that has the app can select a school or multiple schools as a favorite or a follow, and they will actually get a notification when the school goes live. That takes a little extra coding, and that's kind of what is the last bit of the process. But it looks good from what we've seen so far, and excited to let everyone know when that is officially able. If you've already got the app, it works to a certain extent. It still pulls in the Strive Sports stuff, and you can still go to a school channel. But that notification piece is kind of a big deal for us. So when that is ready to go, we will make sure and let everyone know how to get that, and probably a quick re-download or an update of the app, and there it will be. So excited about that coming up in the new year. So
Okay.
James or Andy, if you guys don't have anything else, I think we can call it lunchtime.
I wouldn't mind, and I haven't looked on Slack yet, a demo with our little soundboard that we bought. We're not using it right now, but just to be ahead of the game, I might have an interested college student that wants to do some coverage.
Oh, cool. So actually, someplace I can point you before that part is in your dashboard, down in the tutorial section. We actually just it's something that we did a couple years ago, but it's still very relevant because it's all the same stuff that we use. Is the broadcast equipment course is what we called it. And that goes over a lot of equipment, and then it does specifically go over how to set up the soundboard and get that, and not only get that into your stream, but actually what all the knobs on the soundboard mean. That would be a really good resource.
Where are you finding that, or where'd you put it?
It should be in your dashboard in the tutorial section down in the bottom right. Called the broadcast equipment course.
I got you. Okay. Good.
Yeah, got to be logged in for that. And yeah, that's definitely a good first step. And if you still have questions beyond that, let me know. By all means.
Yeah, I'll reach out if I need.
Cool. All right.
I have a question.
Yo.
This is James, and the auto archiving feature, has that been fixed? Mine, I can switch the button on, but it says auto archiving is off.
Yep, we are. That was I think the part that you missed right away at the beginning there, James. that is still a process that we are working through. Christian worked on it yesterday, and he's still working on it today. It works in that we can turn it on, and you can turn it on in your dashboard, and it is the ability to upload is in our server that we have, but somewhere there's a disconnect, and so that's a lot of code to try to go through and find where that disconnect is. So auto archiving is on the way. It's still pretty glitchy though right now. Would still highly recommend hitting record in Wirecast so that somewhere on your laptop you have a copy of that file. And then hopefully when our uploading issues and auto archiving gets fixed and everything, then everyone will have a much better idea and a chance to upload the videos that they want to get up. Unfortunately, it hasn't been that way all fall. Boy, it really has seemed like it's like the last 2 weeks or so that it's been funky. Yeah, right. 2 weeks ago on Wirecast Wednesday when I actually announced it, that broke it apparently. So thank you for signing up. And no, it hasn't worked since then. Technology, what are you going to do, right?
Shout out to James for his help at Gothenburg.
Yep. Yeah. Shout out to James anyway, though, right? Holdridge was playing basketball at Gothenburg, and James actually ended up helping the Gothenburg kids quite a bit that night. So thank you, James. That was really, really cool. And fun that it worked out that way, but thanks for doing that.
I was happy to help. Good kids.
Yeah. Hashtag Strive Schools. That's what we call that. That's awesome. That's
on Twitter?
Yeah, I think you did tweet that, right?
Oh,
yeah.
You did?
Yep. Cool. All right. Anything else for you guys? Take that as a no then. So
Got a list of things to post and
yep. Sarah's got a whole bunch of stuff to do now, and Ben is still working over there on Championship Journey videos, and Taylor's doing Taylor things. So I guess that means I can take a nap this afternoon. All right. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. If we don't see you at a holiday tournament, we'll see you in early January.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.